Disclaimer. Today's topic is going to be a very, very hard topic, and we are going to be discussing terms on the sexual abuse of a minor. We are going to be discussing the child marriage situations that have been going on in Nigeria and the effects of it. So, if any of those two topics are triggering for you, please skip through, or you can do whatever that is going to help your peace. And today's topic is not for entertainment, it's more for education, and also to add my voice to the matter that is going on right now. So I hope you guys support the case. I hope you guys watch everything if you can, if the topics are not triggering for you. And I hope you also lend your voice to discuss. So please get into the video. Hi guys, welcome back to TJ's View. Unfortunately, today's topic is not a happy topic, so my demeanor might match how I feel about today's topic, which is not excited and not happy. I'm going to be using a script because today's topic is important and I need like a script to carry me through the topic for today. So, we're going to be talking about, just as you've seen on the cover, we're going to be talking about child marriage and sexual assault and abuse of children today and the reaction from the Nigerian society about that. So, if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome to TJ's View. We do a lot of things on this topic, but we are mostly focusing on social commentary on things going on in Nigeria or just things generally. We also do some fun stuff apart from that, like manner recommendations, and maybe if you guys want to see movies recommendation, I might do some movie recommendation and series recommendation, or just talk to you about some other things. But I'm trying to not keep today's focus on most of the things we do because today's topic is really, really like important and really, really different from everything we talk about. So we're going to be talking about child marriage in Nigeria. Recently, child marriage was put to an end in Somalia, but the law was overturned in 24 hours because of the reaction and the protest it got from the guys in the country protesting against it. And this sparked conversation. It sparked conversation everywhere on social media, specifically on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. People were very angry because this is protection that was given to children stripped away in 24 hours because of protests. I always say legality is not equals to morality. Like, just because something is legal does not mean it is morally acceptable. And morals and legals and legality should not always be should not always be interwoven, but sometimes they should be interwoven. In certain situations like this one in specifically, we're talking about children here, we're talking about putting children in harm here, then legality is important. It's important that it is interwoven with morality to protect children, to protect people. Like, why are laws made in the first place? It's not to protect people. Anyways, I think I've gone like way off script because like I went on it on my own tangent because I just feel so angry and passionate about this issue. So, anyways, let's like getting back into script. So let me just read out what is in the script. Recently, child marriage was put to an end in Somalia, but it was quickly overturned in 24 hours because many protested against it. The pain and anger from the law failing to protect the children, the girl child, led to protests and intense disagreements from a large group of people around Africa, mostly particularly the feminists. They stood up in droves with loud voices in protest and took action to protect the girl child. The protests reopened an old wound about a case that was closed in 2018 without justice from for the victim, a young child, a 13-year-old girl that died in 2018 from complications of VVF. What is VVF? VVF is the acronym for vesicovaginal fistula, a medical condition where there is an abnormal connection between the bladder and the vagina. This results in the continuous leakage of urine into the vagina and can cause social and physical problems. There are many causes for this condition, but in the case of the child in this particular, the victim in this situation, Ochanya Obanje, it was caused from continuous sexual assault from her aunt's husband and and the son, which is her uncle and her cousin. 5-year-old Ochanya moved to live with sorry. So after the Somalia case was overturned, there was a lot of protest, right? And then people came out to speak, and it's just, I don't know, it's crazy to think that in society that we live in today, things like this still happen. And in some of my other videos, like the one about how how parents raise their children for abuse and the feminism video, I've spoken about the laws that protect children and the law and how the law does not actually protect children. I've also spoken about how parents and how society at large put children in danger. And I'm not putting the full blame of this case on Ochanya's parent or anything like that, because as you would come to find out as I go later in the script, like it's not their fault that their child went to live with, a family member and something. Ochanya moved to live with her aunt family, the Obuja family, for in Benue State, North Central Nigeria. She moved in with them due to the school in her local area being shut down, but unfortunately, she became a victim of rape by 8 years old. The abuse started from her cousin, Victor Obuja, who was caught by his sister, Winifred Obuja, and who reported the case to her father, Andrew Obuja, who then took to join the abuse instead of protecting her.
The son started sleeping with me. Then when the sister caught him, the sister then reported him to the father. Then the father scolded at him, and that was when the father started.
And instead of him to pull out his son for his actions, he decided to follow the path of his son.
17th of October 2018, Ochanya lost her life. Justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Give justice for Ochanya. Ochanya deserves justice. Justice for Ochanya.
Ochanya did not get to justice. She deserves justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya.
Justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Justice for
Ochanya.
A grown-ass man. Ochanya was assaulted through both holes repeatedly by those two monsters of humans. Like, they're not even humans, they're just monsters. Which resulted in her getting VVF and passing away from the complication. I'm going to attach some clips to tell you guys more about the case.
At the Potter's Place Orphanage and Rehabilitation Center in Otukpo local government area of the state, the caregiver speaks of Ochanya, her last days at the center.
This is where Ochanya was staying until her death. She stays in this room with some of the girls. So while she was here, she kept asking, when will I go back to school again? And we did a bit to encourage her because she was not too sound health-wise. She couldn't run around like every other child does. We had memories of her playing footballs with the kids here, or during her devotions where we have to dance. She would love dancing. You see her go through the room dancing. But then sometimes she misses her steps and would want to fall. but we want to say she was quite a lively child. It all happened on one Friday. I came back from an outing and one of the guests in the house told me, Mommy Ochanya says she's cold. Went in there and discovered she was running temperature. And before we knew it, 1-2 days, she couldn't make use of her legs. And running through to her waist, she was becoming lifeless from her legs to the waist parts. But before then, she had challenges with controlling her urine. The mom told me before they moved her into this home that she also was passing stool uncontrollable. But when she came in, when we began to treat her, all of that came under control. Apart from the urine issues, all through her days with us, she was on dampers.
Honestly speaking, there is almost nothing more I can say about this case because this case is already a very, very big case. And the case has already been spoken about everywhere on social media. So there's almost no information I want to give that is like new information. But I'm going to try my best to just put because we all our voices needs to be added to this case. We all need to talk. We all need to speak up for this case, so that our voices can be amplified and something can be done. I did hear that the case was reopened.
Is somebody shouting power? Is somebody shouting power? Hey, the case has been reopened. Justice for Ochanya. They not reopen the case now. The case has been reopened. No, you will talk. When they say use your voice, that your voice is your power, no keep quiet. When anybody try to stop you, that person is your enemy. I need you to know that. See what our collective voice did. Yes. See what our collective voice did for this case. All my students shout power. All the women will get to shout power. All the feminists will come outside shout power. All the people will use their placard, will use their voice, will use their money, will use their resources. Shout power. The case has been reopened and justice will be served this time. Justice must be served. Justice will be served. And I'm here to tell you that we will see to the end of this case. May God bless all the people that have added their voice, all the people that ignored the trolls, that fought for me, that cleared my name, that defended my name. I just want to say I love you so much. And now we go do this thing together. So, quick update for all the interested community for justice for Ochanya. We dey pray day. So, Natasha Akpoti has stamped our petition, and our petition will be making its way to the IGP of police today by the grace of God. I was able to reconnect the brother of Ochanya with the personal assistant to the IGP of police. Let's keep every sentiment aside and fight for the justice, because it is not only for Ochanya. We want to prove that the structures of patriarchy can be broken. And so, this is it on the screen, the different proofs that we have. That means that we are doing work. If you're protesting this week, please do not use reopen the case again. Use what is the update. Okay? We want the IGP of police to put a wanted poster for Victor Ogbuja and also commence the effort to arrest the family. You understand? So this is part of the things that both the lawyer, myself, and other interested stakeholders have been talking about.
But apparently the case was reopened for the father, but not for the son, because the son is still not found or something. Anyways, I'm going to try to gather as much social media clip as I can, and I'm going to include them into the video for you guys to get the perspective of what is going on from some first-hand accounts and from some other accounts that are also very, very, very important. So I'm also going to put the links, because I'm taking a lot of the information I'm reading from articles that are already published. So I'm going to include them in the description as always. As I always say, my description box for videos like this are very detailed. So you guys can read through them, follow the links to know every accurate information you need to know. So unfortunately, the perpetrators, Andrew and Victor Obuje, have not been, is it Obuje, right? Obuja, sorry, have not been apprehended, and they've not even smelt the gates of jail, which we hope to change. So please engage with this case by using the hashtag Justice for Ochanya and also learning and educating everyone around you about the case. Please let the children around you know that they can talk to you about anything, Andrew was tried in 2019 in Benue State High Court for rape and culpable homicide, but he was not seen as guilty by the judge, Justice Augustine Ethio- Ethionieman. I don't know how to pronounce, so I'm going to put the word up here for you guys to read. Who ruled that the prosecution failed to prove the rape and death charges beyond a reasonable doubt. So, article and discussion, as I said.
There are so many laws in the Nigerian judiciary system that ought to be repealed and abolished. Given the evidence brought before the general public and even a layman with zero to no knowledge of the law, are you trying to tell me that a judgment of acquittal was made because the prosecution failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Ochanya, who was proven to have been sexually abused by her uncle and her nephew, died of natural causes when a medical and a police report said that she died of VVF? By provisions of Section 36 sub 9 the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it says that no person who shows that he has been tried by any court of competent jurisdiction or tribunal for a criminal offense and either convicted or acquitted shall again be tried for the same offense or for a criminal offense having the same ingredient as that offense, save upon the order of a superior court. Let me interpret that for you. It means that Andrew Ogbaji, who has been acquitted by a court of competent jurisdiction, shall not be tried but on the same offense or offenses with the same ingredients. However, the last statement says that upon the order of a superior court, and this is where we all come in, we shouldn't be begging for justice. The Supreme Court of Nigeria should set up a panel to reopen this case. This case can be appealed to a superior court. We don't want the court of appeal. We want it to go straight to the Supreme Court. We are calling upon the sons, the body of benchers, especially the females, to sit up and help us. We have come together as a country. Other people should not be looking at us like we are fools. We don't have any law. We have a law and we have a working system. This is the time for us to work. Ochanya is a girl. She was a girl like me. She was a girl like each and every one of us. Let us stand up and work. And let us not be deceived by the things that are going on the internet. Things are going on behind closed doors. And I pray this case is not once again swept under the carpet.
Felicia Ochija Obuja, Ochanya's aunt, received a 5-month sentence without a fine for negligence from the Federal High Court in Makurdi. Convicted for failing to protect Ochanya despite knowing about the abuse. Victor Obuja, the son, has also reportedly been on the run since the police tried to arrest him. To put this everything I said into perspective, the main perpetrator, Andrew Obuje, was tried and seen as not guilty by the court. But his wife, Felicia Ochanya's aunt, was sentenced to prison for exposing Ochanya to danger. So if because I don't understand how Nigeria's legal system work, and I also do not understand what kind of society we live in. And when we talk about when we talk about Nigeria being a very sexist and misogynistic country that exposes women to danger and and just I don't know, put women in, I don't even know what to say because I cannot even find the right word for the like absurdity that is going on. So Felicia can be tried and sent to jail for exposing Ochanya to danger, but the person that committed the atrocity cannot be tried, was found not guilty. So why was she sentenced to jail in the first place if there is no perpetrator in this case? Because if the perpetrator cannot be sent to jail for the crime he committed, which is rape and culpable homicide, if he cannot be sentenced to jail for that, then why is his wife getting sentenced for exposing the child to danger? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she should not be sentenced or she should not be sentenced to jail for putting Mochanya in danger. I'm not saying that. I'm nowhere saying that. All I'm saying is, does it make sense that she was tried and sentenced, but then the person that actually raped this child to death wasn't sentenced and is actually walking free and walked free for so many years. 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7 years. Walked free for 7 years before the case is just reopened. Now, because of protest in 2025, and we don't still even know if he's going to get sentenced. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, and the son also, as he's still on the run, actually, he's still not being found. Nigeria has a really, really big misogyny problem. This case reopened a much needed discussion about the reaction people have to children sexual assault cases and the lack of urgency and protection the government have in protecting the Nigerian child.
Nigeria not bust my brain. I bet make all of us listen to this thing when I just listen. So because it be like say I don't sabi English again. Make una help me translate. I beg.
Over 200 that we have prosecuted successfully and some secured, in fact, secured conviction on.
Then when children report, now I'll tell you a scenario using the FCT situation where the Child Rights Act and Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act are currently justiciable. Do you know that if a child gets raped in Abuja today, the child is expected to foot the child's transportation to go to
Abuja
police and open
where una president day,
which is usually on the average cost 2,000 naira. Then the same child will go to the hospital to take medicals to ascertain a baseline to know exactly what happened, how the condition of the child, if it corroborates with the story. The child will pay for that. Then the child is expected to pay for the medicals of the rapist or the rapists of the child.
Bust my
brain! Is supposed to pay for police to go and invite whoever is doing all of this, and then pay for everything that has to do with investigation of the case.
The child.
If the matter be minuted to legal to proceed to court, the child is expected to pay for appearance of the police prosecutor every time the police prosecutor turns up in court. This is terrible. Then should the court choose to remand whoever the alleged person is in prison, do you know that the child is expected to figure out how to get money and pay the prison officials who usually have their vehicles on the premises at least 5,000 naira to take the people, to prison? Now, in practice, in theory, we have
Nigeria
wonderful laws that exist.
Nigeria. Una say wetin? I beg.
On to another case, like a 15-year-old and her sister have come out to plead for protection from their father who wants to marry her off to a 50-something-year-old man.
Her name is Miracle and she's just 15. And my dad wants to marry her out to a man of 56 years. The funniest part about this is that he actually tried doing that to me when I was 12. But I was stubborn and my mom was still very much ill then. It didn't work out. But right now, mom is down with stroke, and this man in question, his name is Chief Ebuka and my father's name is Sunday. Yeah, my dad is from Imo State and this man in question is from Anambra State. So I'm just here to plead for help because I don't really know. Like I feel like she's still a child. She's just 15 and she doesn't even know her lefts or her rights that much yet. Talk more of giving birth and all that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, uncles and auntie. Please, my dad wants to give me out to a man of 56 years old. I'm just 15 years old. I've not even gone further in my school. Please, you guys to help me, please.
I came across this lady's video
to talk about child marriage in Nigeria now. Growing up, you often hear stupid stuff, because absolutely stupid stuff, like, oh, you're still menstruating, you are no longer a child, oh. In the north, your mates have been married off by now, or, oh, why are you acting like such a child? Don't you know that by now in the north, your mates have been married off, or just some iteration of that, as if that is something to be celebrated. The casualness by which it is said, it is so concerning, because why is child marriage a gotcha? Why is it so casual? Why is it not something that is making you angry? Why is something that you are using as a joke or a soft or a punchline to a situation? What the fuck is wrong with Nigerian society? What is wrong? I'm trying to not censor myself a lot because this because of so much censoring, people have been desensitized to what's going on. I don't know, like if the video is going to get taken down or if I'm going to get striked for using words without censorship, but I'm just going to do my best in this situation, the best I can do, which is create awareness about it. Child marriage is a very, very big issue in Nigerian society. In 2019 alone, nearly 40,000 children under the age of 5 years died because their mothers were child brides. In the same year, an estimated 3,489 girls died from pregnancy and childbirth resulting from child marriage. All of this is linked to why the maternal mortality rate in Nigeria is so high. Child marriage decreases a girl's likelihood of completing secondary or higher education by 23%. This is gotten from the article Marriage is Costing Nigeria more than 10 billion USD a year. 30.3% of girls in Nigeria marry or enter a union before age 18 and 12.3% marry before age 15. 1.6% of boys in Nigeria marry before age 18. So when we talk about child marriage, it's for both men and women, male and female children. Though female children are like the higher victims in this scenario. Child marriage is mostly common in the northwest and northeast of Nigeria, where 52% and 51% of women were married before their 18th birthday. The state of Bauchi has the highest rate, 73.8% of women aged 20 to 24 who were first married before the age of 18 and are in polygynous union, and 49.2% of women in the state have spouses who are older by at least 10 years. Polygyny is like when a man marries multiple wives. So there are several different laws related to the minimum legal age of marriage in Nigeria. Under the Marriage Act 1990, the minimum legal age of marriage, 21 years for girls and boys, although they are able to marry before this with written consent from a parent or a guardian. Under the Child Right Act 2003, the minimum legal age of marriage is 18 years. However, out of 36 Nigerian states, there are still 12, 11 of which are located in the north of the country, that have not included the Child Rights Act 2003 in their internal legislation. It follows that in those states, local laws are applied, most of which are Islamic law provisions, and the minimum age of marriage in some of those states is as low as 12 years old. In 2013, the government stated that efforts have been made to sensitize states about the Child Rights Act in order to improve enforcement. There is also a lack of harmonization between the Child Rights Act 2003, which sets 18 years as the minimum age of marriage, and the Sexual Offense Bill 2015, which sets the minimum age of sexual consent at 11 years. So, actually, there's been a law that was implemented and approved by the Senate this year about, I think they have raised, there is a punishment now for a punishment without fine, without like bail, for anybody that is seen having sexual relations with a minor. So, a minor of anybody below the age of 18. Basically, it's now like jail sentence without like bail, which is a big improvement. And we can only hope that this law is actually implemented properly, because there can be laws can be made, but the implementation is what is important. The implementation of these laws. Anyways, there was also a case where a Nigerian senator was said to have married a 13-year-old, and this senator has blocked attempts to like modernize the constitution, and he has implicitly endorsed child marriage. I mean, he got married to a 13-year-old. People's reaction were like, if you have a law that says you cannot marry a 13-year-old, if you have a law that says you cannot marry a 15-year-old, then why on God's green earth will a guy who is a senator who makes law, violate or break that same law? It's because he thinks the law is not applicable to him, says one rights group official. The amendment has sparked a particular backlash against the senator, widely regarded as responsible for the decision, Ahmed Yerima, who is reported to have married a 13-year-old Egyptian girl. Yerima has denied the girl is 13-year-old. One human rights group, Women Employment and Legal Aid, has given a 30-day ultimatum to Nigeria's Attorney General Mohammed Adoke to prosecute Yerima, who was saying, we are saying that Senator Yerima must be prosecuted for violating the Child Rights Act and marrying a 13-year-old, says Fumi Falano from Empowerment and Legal Aid. This is such a sad case. You cannot marry an underage girl in Egypt, so you brought her here to Nigeria where nobody will do anything. That has to change. Not only has he violated the law, but he is making the law for all the rest of us. There must be consequences, Falano added. So this also got it from an article. It's going to be in the description in the. So this is about the case of Yerima, Senator Yerima, who married a 13-year-old girl and has still not been prosecuted or tried for that in 2025. There was also another case of another senator, Abdul Malik Sakindaji, I'll put the right name right up, Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, who was who was going to sponsor the wedding of 100 orphan girls in his constituency. And Sakindaji had announced his intention to sponsor the wedding of 100 orphan girls who lost their parents in banditry attacks in Mariga, LGA of the state, as part of his constituency project. This elicited different reactions from the public, with many asking why the girls were not enrolled in school instead and why he was going to marry them off. He said he's not going to marry them off, but anyways. The plans, first revealed by Abdulmalik Sakindaji, Speaker of the National House Assembly in the largely Muslim northern state of Niger, were criticized by Nigeria's Women Affairs Minister Uju Kennedy Nwaneye, who said she would seek a court injunction to stop the ceremony and establish if any of the girls were minors. Practically, the thing that is causing outrage in this case is because among the 100 girls that are going to be married off, allegedly, they were minors. There were minors among them. So people were like, why not send these girls to school? Why are you getting them married off? Sakindaji said, oh, he's not marrying them off. It's just that the girls were already engaged, and because their parents were killed off, now nobody can finance the marriage, which is why he wants to finance the marriage. And the case still remains, why do you want to marry off minors instead of sending them to school? Even if they were already engaged, are minors supposed to be engaged to marry? I feel like there's something that people keep forgetting, the fact that under the law, even in Nigeria, minors cannot give consent. Like, minors cannot give consent to things like marriage. That's why any time a adult has any sexual relation with a minor, they should be sent to jail and they should be prosecuted, because minors cannot give consent. Like, that is you breaking the law. Anyways, there's just been the rights group concerned, Nigerian citizens, in a petition launched on Wednesday that has garnered over 7,000 signatures, said the Niger State government should prioritize the education of the girls instead of forcing them into marriage. We demand immediate action to halt the proposed forced marriage and to instead implement measures that will empower these girls to lead dignified and fulfilling lives, the group said. So, also, in this case, there's been so many people and so many women and so many feminists specifically that have lended their voice to this cause. A lot of them are doing a lot of amazing work. And in the case of Ochanya, one specific woman online, OBD, she's been so proactive to this case. Like, she lended her voice, she lended her resources, she lended every single thing she could to make sure that this case spread. And because of how this case went so largely. Many people heard about the case, many people were able to contribute to the case, and I cannot just like talk about this case without giving her flowers and just, I don't know, appreciating the effort she has put into this case. There are so many other women that are also lending their voice to the case. There's been so many protests, there's been so many things going on, and the end goal of all of this is to make sure that we are able to put an end to child marriage. We are able to put an end to.
I stand for my colleagues, the teachers. In fact, we deserve self-control allowance. Teachers, we deserve self-control allowance, because looking at these young girls nowadays, Charlie, teachers, we are suffering. Ghana teachers, we are suffering. Abai, we deserve self-control allowance, teachers self-control allowance, because it's not easy. It is not easy for a teacher to control himself for 3 good years teaching these kids, because nowadays the kind of food they are eating and the kind of hygiene they are putting on, it makes them look attractive, but they are very young, and it's not easy for us to control ourselves. And the Minister of Education, we are pleading, please.
Men are never going to beat the fact that most of them have a pedophilic and a predatory mindset. You are a teacher, you are getting paid. So why are you asking the Ghana Education Service to give you an allowance? I am inclined to think that something is wrong with the psychology of men and how men think and process things. Because for him to think that this was a good video to post, that, oh, you should give us an allowance for not being a predator and sleeping with students that we are supposed to teach. Are you supposed to see young girls as sexual objects? That means that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. Those are children. Those are young girls. Are you supposed to see them in a sexual way and lust after them to the point where you feel the need to do this video and ask the Ghana Education Service to give all male teachers an allowance for not acting on your predatory mindset and pedophilic mindset?
The law not doing anything to protect minors from sexual abuse. There's been so many cases. There's been so many cases and so many victims that have not gotten justice. And we hope that with our voices being amplified, we can bring justice to as much as we can as possible. I was literally hearing about the fact that the law does not even make it easy for like victims, for minors to like to be able to seek justice in the first place. I'm going to try to add a clip of a woman talking about this situation. And so, listening to everything that she said, and this is what everybody have said, like, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Let me know, like, if there's anything I said that was not accurate. Let me know if there's anything I should know more. And if you guys know of any case, like, please talk about it, tweet about it, comment it under people's comments, like spread awareness to any important cases. And thank you so much guys for watching today's video. Thank you so much for in advance for everything you're going to do to support this case and this cause. So I know that I said I was going to start a new series, but I couldn't for the life of me like go on with like my plan and just make videos without like talking about this case. And with this channel being a Nigerian social commentary channel, like how are we going to talk about things that are going on in society? We're not talking about things that are currently going on right now, you know. So yeah, the plans are still in place. Like I'm still going to make a series about the outliers in Nigerian society. That's not like stopped. I'm hoping to upload a video about the manual video, and then the second video is going to be this before I upload any videos about the series, the outlier series, because the script is actually like almost done. So thank you so much for today, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.